My favorite album is a tie between Relaxin' with the Miles Davis Quintet and The Barter Six by Young Thug. I really love Relaxin' with the Miles Davis Quintet because it's very relaxing to listen to, and you really hear some really great old Coltrane solos, like before he started going really out, and the rhythm section is just super pocket, and it feels really nice. The Barter Six shares that space as my favorite album because Young Thug raps with a freedom, humor, but also just like precision that is kind of unmatched by anybody in the world. My first concert was at this concert series in Washington, D.C. called Fort Reno when I was 16 with my high school band called Valley Tours. And it was like a little indie rock band, and we all had little nicknames. And my nickname in that band was McChicken, which is where the McChicken name comes from. If I could have anybody's career, I would have Young Thug's career. He is my age. He is a international rap sensation. He's touring the world, and he's making great records, and he's making a lot of money. Fats Waller is really inspiring to me because not only was he incredibly hilarious, but he was also an incredibly serious musician. There's a story about him drinking a fifth of gin and sitting down at the piano and playing all of Stravinsky's Petrushka from memory. And that's like a long, hard piece to play. And it was originally written for orchestra, so to play a piano reduction of that is like even harder. He's got this great song called Fat and Greasy, where he's just describing like himself of being like a fat, greasy guy who's like too fat to like bend down and tie his shoe, and he just like smells really bad. And one of the lines is, they say nice perfumes are made of fat, but not from this greasy cat. And but the whole time he's singing, he's also like playing stride piano, which is like so hard to do. He was like an incredibly serious musician, but he wasn't afraid to be himself and be truly funny. A good solo is clear, easy to follow, is reactant to the other members of the rhythm section, and is communicative to the audience. It's soulful, it's not self-indulgent, it's exciting, it's emotional, and it has to speak to the audience. Right now, my passion project for my writing is I'm trying to write symphonic accompaniment for rap vocals, which is what I do with my McChicken project. Back in March, we had a awesome concert at Triple Crossing Brewery where I was accompanied by a 30-piece orchestra, and that's kind of the same thing that Fats Waller was into too. I mean, he was playing jazz at the time, but he was still really well versed in classical music. And now, what I see as my responsibility is bring together modern hip hop and orchestral writing to really make something that nobody else has made before. Well, I remember coming back from this rock band summer camp that I was describing earlier, and going into math class, and just having my head in my hands and thinking, man, I don't want to be here. I want to be back playing keyboard, and I want to be playing music. And that's when I realized that, that's how I wanted to spend my time, and that's how I wanted my life to go. As I wanted to spend my life making music. So, you know, I learned all the rudiments of jazz, and I auditioned for jazz school at VCU because my mom wasn't really buying the whole I'm gonna become a rock star after high school thing. She still wanted me to go to college. So, and very few schools have a kind of rock and roll option. So I ended up doing the jazz thing, and I got into VCU. I went to VCU, and since then I've fallen in love with jazz, but I've also dabbled with hip hop, rock, funk, playing a lot of different types of bands. And right now I'm trying to make transcendental rap like as an art form, and I'm trying to play jazz with the best dudes in town. Hey guys, come out to Vagabond on Wednesday nights to the Gypsy Tea Room. It's a wonderful space. We have great artists lined up to play every Wednesday night, including Ayinde Williams, Devon Harris, Marcus Tenney, Charles Owens, Cameron Ralston, Jackson Sherrills, Logan Beaver, Corey Fonville, Andy Randazzo, and Scott Clark. And there are more announcements to come about future artists on the lineup. And there are half-off bottles of wine, and there's awesome food.